To carry with or without a permit, that is the question, and a bill is now headed to Governor Fallon's desk regarding constitutional carry. It would allow Oklahomans to bear firearms without a license. Here with us this morning, we have Senator Irvin Yen, who is opposed, and then we have Don Spencer, who is head of the Second Amendment Association, OK2A, who supports its passing. Good morning to both of you.
Good morning.
Thank you for being with us. First, opinions aside, I thought it'd be a good thing to just go into detail as to what this bill entails. And since it's passed through the legislature, Senator?
Well, we can let Don talk about that.
Or Don, whoever would
bill,
like to take this.
A person 21 years of age who's not a felon who can legally own or purchase a firearm would be able to legally own or carry it. That's the basic shortfall of it. They're still required to notify, let an officer know. If an officer asks them if they need identification, they're required to identify. And it does not allow carry still on a college campus or any other prohibitions that are already set in law from a person that has a license.
Okay, so some of those traditional spaces where it has been banned before
correct.
Are still
you can't go to a Thunder game, things like that.
Right.
That's correct.
Now I'd like to give the floor to each of you to just say your viewpoint on where you stand on this and why you feel that way. Senator?
My concern is public safety. Currently, with a concealed handgun permit, you have to go through at least some training, and you go through a pretty rigorous background check, I believe, because you got to do fingerprints. Now, if this bill gets signed into law, then people who can carry guns on their person, they don't have to jump through any hoops. Now, you do, when you purchase a handgun, you undergo a background check if you buy your gun from an authorized dealer. But, Don could sell me a gun and there would be no background check, right? Yeah, I could go to a gun show, I could purchase a gun, there'd be no background check, right?
But so my understanding was there would still be background checks, but just when it came to purchasing, not when it came to actually getting the license,
That's correct. Or to actually carrying, that's correct.
Actually carrying it. And tell us your vantage point.
Well,
on this
right should be extended to Oklahoma residents because the fact we have constitutional carry for residents who are from Kansas or Missouri or Arkansas or Arizona who has constitutional carry, and those residents can carry in Oklahoma under this exact same situation. So since
if they're just visiting here, or
correct.
if they move,
if they're visiting here. We also, OK2 has one single member that just came from Arizona, and in one day he became a criminal just because the fact he walked in, he got his new driver's license from Oklahoma, establishing an Oklahoma resident, and now he's committing a misdemeanor crime by getting in his car to drive home.
So that's from elsewhere.
Right.
Senator Yen, I got this in. Could we pop this up? This is from Dylan. This is one of our viewers, and Dylan said this: bad people are going to do bad things either way. Making law-abiding citizens having to get a carry license is not going to affect the villain down the road from getting his hand on a pistol either way. So in your mind, what does this piece of paper, this license, actually keep people from doing what they're set out to do?
It allows law enforcement, if I get pulled over for speeding, not that I speed, and I have my handgun on me, and I have a concealed handgun permit, I have to show that to the officer at the same time I show him my driver's license. Well, when he sees that, then he knows I have gone through some training, and he also knows that I'm a law-abiding citizen and I've undergone a background check. Well, if he pulls somebody else over without a concealed handgun after this bill is signed into law, what does he know about that person? And their usage and ownership of a handgun. What does he know?
I'm sorry, may I address
the
same?
Go for it.
If a person is pulled over, nothing is really going to change because every state that borders Oklahoma already has a person can carry a loaded gun in their car without a permit. So nothing is going to change, and I'm sure our law enforcement agencies are well equipped and well adapted to adjust, just like the border states that allow the exact same thing in the exact situation you just described.
And how do you tell? That's what I'm having a hard time. How do you tell if a person is legally carrying? Because there are people who won't be able to legally carry based on past criminal history, maybe mental health issues. So if you see somebody carrying, how is an officer to stop that person?
Just like he does right now, he just goes up and asks them, and they're required to identify. So when the person is required to identify, just like in a driving in a car situation, he can check their background right then. He can also, if a person is a felon, he'll know immediately their background.
Okay, and Don, this one I kind of wanted to ask you of. We talked to OSBI agents about this. They kind of gave us a grim warning about what this would mean if it were to pass. And one of the agents said this: if this were law on April 19th, 1995, law enforcement would not have been able to detain Timothy McVeigh.
Okay, I have no problem addressing that because the law has been...
It doesn't worry you?
No, the law's changed. That's not an accurate statement because today, under current law, if I'm pulled over and I do not have a license and I have a loaded handgun in my car, it's a $70 violation, and the officer is required to give me my gun back. So that doesn't apply in that situation. And also, if all of our citizens are going to be considered Timothy McVeighs, we're in great trouble anyway. So I just don't consider that a valid argument.
Mm-hmm. Do you have something to say to that, Senator?
Well, I say, you know, Don and his folks on the other side mention constitutional carry all the time, okay? The U.S. Supreme Court has been pretty clear on this. In 2008, they had a decision that said it's absolutely proper for the government to regulate firearms. And it's absolutely proper for them, states, to outlaw concealed carry if they choose to do so.
So state by state.
The U.S. Supreme
basis.
Court has said that.
With all due respect, it was related to public buildings, which would be like universities, like government buildings. That was where the regulations were actually being applied.
No, I beg to differ. I just read the U.S. Supreme Court decision from 2008. I just read it.
I got to put a pause on this conversation. This is exactly what we wanted from both of you, so thank you for being here. On the other side of this break, we have some more viewer questions, and we'll keep delving a little bit further. Thank you to both of you. Shelby, now over to you.